All right, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the daily live stream. We are at 8 o'clock. We are live. So thanks for tuning in, everybody that is starting to watch. Say good morning. Make sure you say that, but just wanted to let everybody know if you're watching on the replay, we go live 8 o'clock Pacific time. Morning, obviously I should say, and we're on Monday to Friday. It'd be great to have you join on. But as always, you can find us on the replay. If you can't make it live, you can always catch the videos on the replay. We've got the coffee crew showing up. It's Thursday, almost Friday, so TGIF tomorrow. Coffee in hand, coffee is hot, and good morning. Let's see who's here today. Let's see who's here. Vic. Oh, halfway through. So good morning, Vic. Hopefully you can make it. If not, catch the replay. We'll catch you there. Always good to have you on. And Candace, you weren't the first comment this morning. That's okay. We won't hold against you. Good morning. Hopefully your day is going well. Hopefully, I think oil's up today, so maybe you're doing okay. Have a good day. And I was waiting and not disappointed with your joke, and we'll pull that up after we say good morning to whoever else is here. MC, good. Missed you yesterday, MC. Hopefully you're well. Thanks for tuning in again. All good. And Stan, good morning. All the regulars are here. That's awesome. Stan, good morning. Hopefully your day's going well. And Brian, always good to have you here. I need my coffee this morning. This is my second cup. And if anybody's watching on the stream and you're new, don't be afraid to say hi. It's a good group of people. We talk about our TFSAs. We talk about investing. We talk about all sorts of things finance related. And sometimes the conversation goes in other directions. That's okay too. It's all good. So if you have questions, comments, fire them away. It's a good group of people. If I can't answer the question, there's generally somebody in the chat that can steer you in the right direction. And the morning would not be complete without the Chat GPT finance pun joke of the day. Candace, I'm still trying to use Chat GPT to get a good one, but they're just bad. I maybe have to refine my typing question a little bit, but this is terrible. But why did the lumberjack invest in a saw company? Because he wanted to make sure his portfolio was cutting edge. That's just so bad, but that's pretty good too. Pretty good. It's doing pretty good on the bad finance jokes. For those people who don't know, we've talked about Chat GPT a little bit. It's pretty neat. Check it out. It's sometimes I find it's still timing out. It won't let you, because it's so busy. It won't let you necessarily ask its questions or trying to get information, because it's just the servers are overloaded. But some good information, some good feedback from it, which is quite interesting. I've actually been playing around with a little bit on the channel as well, with ChatGPT helping me write some of the video descriptions. So I have my standard, like when I post my video description, I have a standard that I generally would use, edit a little bit as it goes, but just been kind of playing around with ChatGPT a little bit to kind of just change things around to see how that does. So I've been playing with that on a couple of my videos. So if you actually look in the video description, see if you can find one if you think it's ChatGPT doing it or not. And it's always good. And for those that are checking in the channel, I did post a portfolio update yesterday, and it's just after we got off the live stream. We were having a good morning on the market. I was looking forward to actually, it's more green, and then it just turned down. So unfortunately, portfolio down a little bit again, but still, you know what? I'm happy with where it is, where the direction of it is heading. So took a couple years to get that sorted out, but happy with that as well. Yeah, Candace, that popped up. It's funny. I know you talk about that channel, and for some reason I was never I'm subscribed now. I was never subscribed to it. That's the weird thing about YouTube, and it was good live stream. I like the you'll have to do. I like the driver's test. That was kind of fun, something to do at night as I was finishing my dinner. So I'll join again. I'm subscribed, so I will see the next one. That's the one funny thing about YouTube is, I'm guaranteed I've seen some of their videos before, and other videos and channels will pop up, but sometimes what happens, the way the algorithm works, is all of a sudden you think you're subscribed to something because you're watching the videos all the time, and for whatever reason you're getting fed these videos by YouTube because it knows better than you what you're looking to watch, and you're not subscribed to these channels. So if anybody's watching, obviously make sure you're subscribed to this channel. There's my plug for the day. But if you're watching other people's, make sure you're subscribed if you really want to support the channel. It really helps out, especially as smaller creators. I know I was looking at the Danter channel yesterday, and I think they're close to 1,000 subscribers. So any subscriber, I guess, would help get them up over the 1,000. I'm going to assume they've been doing a lot of live streams, Candace, and a fair amount of videos. So I'm going to assume hopefully they have the 4,000 hours on there. So hopefully get them up over. I think they're 963 now when I subscribed last night. So get them up there. Yeah, that could be good. Yeah. I could probably swing that. I mean, if it's also at a different. I think you said it was at a different time now, so it kind of works. It's kind of towards the end of. I think it was 5 o'clock. Is it 5 o'clock Pacific time? Time zones are always screwy, but I remember watching it. I was at my desk and it popped up, so I was still kind of finishing my day for the most part and just kind of having dinner before, early, and it popped up. That was why I was able to join. Because I was not sidetracked with other stuff in the middle of the night. So the early time works for me. I'll jump on there. Yeah, can always make that happen. Always good to have that. I don't know what we'd have to figure out a topic and chat about it. But Chat GPT, yeah, it was good. It was kind of a neat conversation. That's what it was. 4 p.m. Pacific. That's right. So it was before I kind of wrap up my day, Candace, about 5 o'clock ish. I always like to say ish. Sometimes it's before, sometimes it's after. I mean, obviously I work from home, so if I have to run back and jump on the computer, typical work fashion is you try and finish by 4 or 5, and then but everybody tries to send you things and get everything done because they're leaving work, and then they send you they make all their problems, so they get it to you before they leave the office, and then I get it. So usually I actually just work a little bit before when I wake up in the morning, check emails, that kind of stuff, and then actually sit down about 9 to 5. But it worked. 4 p.m. works. I can kind of skip away. I've got kind of a busy day with meetings today on things on calls and stuff like that. I mentioned yesterday and I don't know if anybody's ever done this with Wealthsimple, but I kind of do an annual follow-up with them every year. So I got that scheduled today. So that should be kind of interesting. I'll report back on kind of that tomorrow. After I talk to the person there, just to kind of see. It's just kind of an overview of where just to make sure I'm on the right track with what I want to do. So it's always good, I think, to get some second opinions on certain things on your portfolio. We talked about it a little bit yesterday before we were leaving, but get a financial planner, get somewhere else where don't just follow along a live streamer or a YouTube channel for your investment advice by any means. Get some professionals, make sure it's a good fit for you, and also keep on top of your portfolio. I mean, you don't have to watch it every day. That's the one thing. I mean, if anything, I probably look at mine too much, partly because I do this channel, because I do this live stream. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you have your own investments and you're watching this and you're, obviously I don't recommend necessarily checking your portfolio every day if it's for a long-term investment, but make sure you do check it from time to time to make sure you're in the right investments and it's right for you, and you're putting in what you can afford to invest, not putting it into things that making sure you have your emergency fund, all that basic stuff that we need to know. And it's always good to have a bit of a refresher, no matter what your level of investment knowledge is. It's always, I think, good to have other opinions, and that's what I'm doing. So kind of do that but once a year, and it's obviously the new year, so that was kind of the idea behind doing that. And as always, if anybody has any questions, comment. And I just lost my screen here. There it is. That's the one weird thing about stream here, my Mac. One sec here. I got to get my chat back. Where is it? Sorry, bear with me. I moved my window out of the way, and I have to get it back. There it is. Whoops. Come on. There it is. That's the one thing with like virtual desktops on Mac. If you move the window too far out of the way, it switches your desktop, and you can't remember where you put your windows. MC, Excellent. Nice to have you. I'll have to. That's the one thing I'm nice about the robo-advisor or the all-in-one funds. Yeah, you don't need to really check very much as long as your risk profile hasn't changed. Exactly. I do have the robo. I really like the robo-advisor at Wealthsimple. I have my RSP there, and I have, like I said, I have that old locked-in pension that I can't really touch till I'm retired, which has actually turned out to be a pretty good thing, because if I think had I had access when I was younger and not as smart with money, I probably would have blown it all already, I'm sure. So it's kind of a nice thing. But the robo-advisor, yeah, it takes a lot of this. It does really take a lot of the stress out of investing for sure, MC, or everybody watching. It's but you do have to still keep on top of it. So that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today on it. The call is just to make sure, because partly too, I've talked about before, my car, like I'm not going to, as of next month, I don't have a car payment. So I'm going to have that extra funds to be able to, obviously I want to put somewhere. So I'm going to be figuring kind of that, where to put it out, whether I possibly, I don't necessarily budget-wise put it into my it will go into a TFSA of some kind because I do have the room, but I have to figure out what I'm going to put it in, because I want to kind of have some savings, but also look at my RSP and where I'm at with that and all that kind of stuff. So always good. But I do like the robo-advisor because it's easy to set up, and I have my my regular RSP deposit going in every couple weeks, and it takes the kind of all the emotion out of it, because you deposit it, it does its thing, it rebalances everything for you. Obviously, you have to make sure your risk profile is kind of the same. Mine hasn't changed this year by any means. I'm pretty happy with where things are at. So that's it. But yeah, more investment green is always a good thing, and it adds up. It's going to add up. And I was having this conversation with a friend yesterday about it, and I'm really noticing after this. It's been about it'll be 2 years in April since I've started the TFSA in active investing in it, and it's now just kind of starting to show that snowball with dividends and that kind of stuff. And also back on the robo-advisor side, my RSP, it's really starting to kind of start to do that, because I've been diligent in putting money into it. That's the big thing, is getting pretty it's being consistent, and it's paid off, as you see. And that's one thing that I liked about Wealthsimple since switching over there, is it's easy to see what your investments are doing with their app, which is great. And instead of just getting a quarterly statement, you can go in there really easily all the time and see where you're going and what's happening. And it's easy to adjust things on the if you want to. But it's I do like the robo-advisor. They're doing decent. That's the thing, considering the market. It just kind of shows how dollar cost averaging regular investments work, really, and it takes that emotion out of it. So yeah, we'll see, MC. I have a call with the same one I've worked with before there. He's okay. I mean, they're all, again, a lot of times, can't forget. I mean, obviously, yeah, a lot of times they're not necessarily, and I consider myself, I'm by no means an expert investment, but I consider myself probably a bit above average, with everything, just because of my work and my knowledge. So some of the advisor, yeah, they're not necessarily knowledgeable or useful. My guy's been okay, been pretty happy with. It's not like he's ever pushed, wanting me to push into different things. They pretty much, I think, once they go through the call with you in the original, I think if you're honest, on the robo-advisor side, I think if you're honest with yourself in terms of your risk when you're filling out and opening your account, I think if you're honest with yourself as you're filling out the questions in terms of what the goals are and what your risk tolerances are, the algorithm, does a really good job of that. And so it almost takes the advisor side out of the equation a little bit. But it is always good to talk to somebody. And I find a lot of them, the one I talked to, I mean, it's great because they're not really trying to sell. They weren't trying to push you into other products. That's what I found. I mean, obviously, Wealthsimple, the products are the products they have. They're not it's not like going into a bank or something like that, but they're not pushing you into certain other individual products of any kind, because it's not how they're set up. They're set up on the robo-advisor side, so it's always good. And yeah, that's the thing. Most advisors are mutual fund salespeople for the banks, and that's the case. If you're investing in, if you go into your branch, which most people do, right? You have your day-to-day banking at, wherever. One of the big banks, you typically go there for. A lot of people go there for their investments, and it's they always do try and steer you into their products, because they have quotas, right? They have quotas that they need to fill for different things. And the problem I always find with this is the hard part with advisors that are with banks. Wealthsimple would be the same with if you have an advisor there and the team. But also in the banks, if you have a mutual fund advisor or something like that, is I found always you'd get a good one, and then the good ones get promoted because obviously why would they not want to be? And then all of a sudden they're out of your branch, and they're no longer your advisor. That happened to me with my other investments. When I moved, it got my advisor I enjoyed, and then the one I was put with, the new one, not a fan. So that was part of the reason for switching as well. So that's always the thing with advisors, that you have to be kind of, make sure it's a good fit for you on there. And since we're talking about Wealthsimple, we talked about this a little bit. I had a couple I didn't pull up a ton of news today. Just want to talk more about kind of a couple of things. It's like, it's like my Wealthsimple day, I guess. But let's pull this up, because we did talk about the savings account at Wealthsimple, and I had mentioned in the live stream yesterday that the save section of it only pays 1.5% interest, and then I apologize, I forget who it was. A new viewer that had mentioned if you sign up for a direct deposit, you get 3% cash back, or it's 3% interest. And I can't remember who that is, so I'm sorry if you're watching, chime in and say it was me. But I had no idea about this, so I was kind of just searching out some of the promos on Wealthsimple. So it is true, actually. They do have an interest rate boost if you do set up a direct deposit. So a direct deposit from your paid paychecks coming in of 500 or more per paycheck. So if you have a steady job, salary coming in, if you put it into your Wealthsimple cash account, as long as you're making a minimum $500 every payday, 2 weeks, whatever you're paid, the interest rate goes from 1% to 3%. So that promo is going from, let's just see here, because it ends at a certain period of time. I think it goes to, it's anytime as of after November 1st, 2022, and it doesn't say when it actually ends. So it looks like it's ongoing for this for any kind of foreseeable future. So if that's a new, I know the direct deposit is new, or relatively new. It's been out, I think, for a few months now. Might be a way to get 3% interest. Although that being said, I think you can probably find some better interest rates some other places without that. I haven't used really the reason I kind of miss this. I think I don't really use the cash account at Wealthsimple for my day-to-day spending. Like I said, I use Shakepay for the cash account. And part of the thing is too, when you have your banking set up, it's hard to switch. So if all of a sudden I get my paychecks direct deposited somewhere else, then I got to start moving stuff around to make sure I cover rent payment coming out, bills coming out, because I have it all set up for direct deposit. So I have to switch everything over, and that's what happens with banks and financial institutions. We've talked about it before. You get sucked in, and you kind of stay there because it's the path of least resistance sometimes, even though you might be making more money somewhere else. But I don't think the cash account necessarily works as like an actual kind of checking account necessarily similar. But anyways, I haven't switched anything over. If anybody has it, let me know in the comments if you do use it. I don't. I got the new card from it, but I haven't even activated it. And then we talked a little bit yesterday about the Max Out Monday, and I dug into this a bit more because this is kind of a great. It's a contest. The chances of winning are slim to none, but it would be nice to win. It it would be even nice or kind of cool if one of the people watching or one of the on the channel on the live stream actually won this as well, if they're using Wealthsimple anyways. But I was a bit confused by it because it's obviously their Max Out Monday contest, and I thought for some reason, so how this is working is if any deposit you put into any of your Wealthsimple accounts, so it's literally everything: TFSA, the trade account, the robo advisor account, crypto, like as long as you deposit it, as long as it's not into the only account that's not valid for is cash, I believe. So it's into their investment products. You get, for each dollar, you get an entry into the contest. And the way, when I first got the email, the way it was kind of worded as Max Out Monday, I thought it was any deposits on Monday. And it's not. It's all anytime. So it's anytime for when the contest runs. So that's kind of good. What the Mondays is all about is the draws are on Monday. So pays to read the fine print and not just scroll quickly through your email. So if you have deposits, if you were maybe holding off, like I was kind of thinking, I'll wait till Monday to maybe deposit this, but you can just do it anytime. So what they're doing, they're doing, let's see how many draws they're doing here. It ends on February 12th. So you have a bit of time. It goes from January 1st. So the contest period is January 1st, 2023 to February 12th. So there obviously people would have, if they've done deposits prior to kind of announcing this, it looks like they're counting them. And the prizes, let's pull down here. It's way down. So it looks like Monday is the day of the prize draws. So the next one's next Monday. So 3 winners, $6,500. That's the TFSA limit for the year. Monday, January 30th. 4 winners of $6,500. Again, TFSA. January 30th would be nice. That would be a good one for me to win because my birthday is the next day. So maybe I'll win that one. And then February 6th and 13th, they're actually giving away more, 30,700 and more money. So that could be a good one to win as well. Maybe someone will win. So there we go. That's the contest. That's the contest from that are kind of happening in Wealthsimple right now, which is good. It'd be nice for someone to win. That's for sure on there. And I haven't done any. The only other deposits going in, again, the regular deposits. Every Monday. And I actually had a comment on the channel from, let me pull that up. It was from yesterday. And I did reply, but if anybody was wondering to, might as well answer it on the thing. And I just want to pull up who it was. It was J Value. And I don't know if J Value has been on the live stream yet, but I answered his question. But he was asking if I had because I'm doing the Monday $100 deposit into my TFSA each Monday, and he was asking if I or she, I'm not sure, J Value, they were asking if I had the reoccurring buy set up, and no, I don't. I like, it gives me something to do. That's partly why I don't have the reoccurring deposit. So I guess I could set that up, but basically I just do the instant transfer. Happens within, like, if you've used Wealthsimple, the instant transfer is literally instant, takes a few seconds. I put the $100 in, and then I go in and buy the shares. Just makes things a bit easier for me, because it's not a huge amount. I'm only I'm buying basically three things, so it's not a lot to manage, and it gives me a chance. I kind of really literally do it when the market first opens. I wake up, log in, buy those 3 shares, post it on the community tab after I purchase. So don't have it set up for automatic yet. I don't have any automatic payments set up to my trade account, or not payments, but automatic buys. And that's part of it. I mean, it gives me something to post. Obviously, yeah, I do the buys, Candace. I don't do a individual buy video, I guess, but it gives me something to obviously talk about in my update videos when I do it, because I will each week I try to do a update on the midweek Wednesday, and then also over the weekend. So it gives me obviously something to talk about on Wednesday, and also obviously I post everything on the community tab that I do purchase as well, so people will know, especially if any kind of dividends come in. It kind of is handy. I post that, Candace, as well, as you probably know, if you do check out the community tab, anything that is purchased on the portfolio is on there. So yeah, yeah, so it's just kind of slowly building up. It's nice. It's nice to see it growing. Obviously, it's still down. It's nice to be. I mean, on the last video, talking a little bit. If you haven't watched it yet, it was update 106 already, which is crazy. Had a good kind of rally this past month with Bitcoin, so that's been nice to see kind of come up a little bit on the portfolio. But yeah, doing good. Kind of happy about that. Still, I mean, it's still in the red, but not as much as it has been. We'll see how things carry through. In the new year with all that's going on. I guess one thing in the news I didn't. I did pull it up, but I'm not. Let's pull this. Obviously, the big thing. See what happens with the market. Obviously, the debt. I mean, I was going to talk about this a little bit. If we talk about the state's treasury debt, they have met their limit, I guess, as of today. So they have to get in and go in and sort out the government with agreeing to raise the debt ceiling in the states. I think it's by June they're going to basically run out of money. It always seems to work itself. It always seems to work itself out for better or worse. I don't follow a ton of U.S. politics, but this has happened before. It will inevitably the debt ceiling will inevitably be raised, but it always kind of comes down to the wire. So we'll see what happens with that. That's kind of news as of today. So we'll maybe have a bit more news in the next couple of days with what the heck is debt ceiling day. We'll see what's happening. It always it comes. It when every time the last time it happens, the two parties butt heads, and then at the final hour it gets raised, and that's kind of what's probably going to happen again. But again, such a weird, also not a great time for this to happen. Obviously, with them, with what's going on with I don't want to say the recession, where potential recession, interest rates rising. It's lots going on. So it's never obviously a good thing that this happens, but probably especially not so now. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it pans out as we go. And that was I kind of just saw that on Twitter just before the live stream started. So I didn't read the whole article on that yet. And last thing to check in, and then we can kind of hit the chat. If you have questions, fire them up, ask questions, see where we go. It's always good before by the midway mark we get through the news and all the things that I want to talk about. So if there's anything you want to talk about, fire it in the comments. It's always good. I do like to check up though on we started this the last couple weeks. This is a coffee crew. This is our watch list. Lots of red out there today, unfortunately. Except this one I think is XEG, or no, that's is that the reverse one for XGD? Is almost one of the lone green today. I think that was the gold. Oh, okay. I think that was Candace. I think that was your gold ETF, if I'm not mistaken. In the green today. The rest not looking so great. Although Air Canada has been one I've been kind of watching lately. It's been that one share, that kind of COVID pandemic, rebound stock, and it seems to finally be kind of making a bit of progress with Air Canada. I don't know if anybody owns any Air Canada, but that's kind of nice to see. I think it's gonna. I think as I was reading, their earnings are coming up. I think middle of next month. But if anybody's been following obviously news, we've talked about like all the delayed flights and travel, but I know for a fact, because I have friends that are still in travel, that travel is booming right now. Everybody wanting to get away, obviously, from the winter, probably the first time in a few years for a lot of people. So the earnings will be interesting to see with Air Canada. Maybe they'll be back to, I mean, their former glory was quite a lot higher than now, but it seemed to be having a decent month for Air Canada, which is nice. It's nice to see for people that, especially if people own any Air Canada in their portfolio. I don't know if a lot of people have it in there that I've in the chat. I was just kind of watching that one. That was mine. And there we go. That's all. That's all the news I had on the channel. On the channel update, again, I have a video posted, so you can check that out after the stream. I'll have another. I still have to get back to the update on the venture fund. I haven't done that update for this month. Not much happening with there yet. It's supposed to be actually starting to invest in January. That'll be part of my part of my conversation later on today with the advisor over Wealthsimple. See what's happening with that one. Right now, again, just sitting in the Purpose US account and getting its regular dividends, about $18. You always get the scoop earlier on the live stream, but I will get that posted on the channel because there's a few people that are following the channel, subscribe, that are invested in that as well. So that's we'll see how that one does turn out in the long run. Be kind of interesting as we go. Money's just right now, again, just sitting there, and then going forward on the channel, I'll have an update on the weekend. As always, we'll do one, and we'll keep that rolling. We'll keep doing that. And on the subscriber front, it's actually been growing a little bit, so that's always good. I think that maybe the market may be turning around a little bit, helping the channel grow. Lots of people still watching, so that's good. I always appreciate everybody that tunes into these live streams and also watches the replay. So if you're watching on the replay, thank you. I always like to say that. And the one thing I forgot to say was about the like. I gave my plug to subscribe, but if you're watching right now, just hit the like button. Let's see how many people are watching. We've got 7 people watching, so that's good. Sorry, we've got 15, 16. It takes a while for it to load. We've got lots of people watching and listening. If you have comments, then now's the time to start firing them in. About 10, 15 minutes left here on the stream, so that's always good. Fire away. See where is that? I know MC, you've been very quiet today. Yeah, Candace, close. It's close. If everybody, I do the mental calculation in my head. If all the subscribers watch 20 minutes, or less than that now, it's pretty close. It's under. Oh, let me just quickly look. It is very close. It takes. It's very close. It's under 400 hours. Which seems like a lot, but it's not really a lot. The live streams always kind of pop in, Candace. My goal is to have it. My goal was to by the end of the month of January, but I don't think it's going to quite hit. But I think by the end of February, it should be there. Yeah, it's all good. It's all coming. We'll see what happens. I need to get off my butt and make more videos. It's funny how that works. The more you put into something, the more you get out of it. But I enjoy jumping on live. Those have been a lot of fun. And there's the good thing about it is there's not I can you put your time in and and it pays off. So yeah, that's the big thing. Live streams, obviously, people watching, they're wondering if you're wondering what the heck Candace and I are talking about. We both have YouTube channels that kind of grow. I mean, I don't know, Candace, what day you started on YouTube, but pretty similar. So Candace hit 1,000 subscribers about a week or so before me. I think we were always kind of like neck and neck the whole time, and then but Candace has been doing live streams from kind of the beginning of your channel, if I'm not mistaken. But the good thing about live streams is as people are watching it obviously hopefully you're enjoying the live stream, not just watching, not just tuning in for nothing. But YouTube has this thing where you need to have 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers before you can. Obviously, you'll see ads. You'll see ads on some of my videos. I think show ads, but that money goes to YouTube. So eventually, it'll be into my pocket. Well, and more importantly, it'll be able to go into the TFSA on there as well. October 21st. Okay, of 2021, I think. Right? Yeah. I started April 1st, actually, of 2021. So it's almost 2 years. April Fools. Starting that one up. Or is it 2021. I should know these things. Let me double check. It tells you on the About page. Sorry, it was 2021, right? Yeah, April 1st, 2021. I always get thrown off when it's like the switch of the year. I always think, is it 20? Yeah, it's 2023, which is crazy to believe it's 2023 already. So, and that's so good. Yeah. And you posted the first video of 20. Is it still up? Is your first video, Candace, still up on your channel? October 7th, 2021. First videos are always terrible on channels. Not to make fun of anybody, but they are. So if anybody's thinking of starting a YouTube channel, just start it. Don't worry about your first video because it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. Yeah. Awkward. And yeah, I'm gonna go check out that after this. The first one. It's always funny. Everybody is always nervous in front of the camera. That's the thing, and you just got to roll with it. I remember when I first started my other channel, and I started doing it, and it was so awkward. And I actually used to get a friend to edit my videos because I couldn't even listen to myself or look at myself in the video editing. It was the worst part. So I eventually started, what I would do is I would just film. I would go with it, take different takes as it pick, and then just give the video file to them to do it. And I remember when I was one time trying to film a video intro, like a channel intro, when I first kind of started. I had a friend that was filming it, and she was filming it, and it was the most awkward, ridiculous thing. I was sweating. It was just, I didn't end up using it because it was so bad. It was so bad. But you just got to do it. Put it up there. It gets better. What actually was good is that on my other channel, I actually started doing some live streams during 2020 when obviously that whole thing that was going on, everybody knows. And I think that actually helped to be in front of the camera a bit too, because you just kind of roll with it. And it was mostly kind of friends watching, that kind of stuff. So it worked. Yeah. So you've made 158 videos and 63 live streams. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. How many videos am I at? Let me just look here. 113 videos. And I'm up to 70. Well, this is, I should note, obviously, yeah, 70. I've done 76 live streams. Although this is episode 75. I guess I didn't count the first one. Something might be off with my numbering there. 70. Sorry, yeah, I have 76 live streams because one of them was the test of my setup and mic, so that didn't count. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing. My other channel, yeah, the other channel it just kind of does its own thing now. I've been spending more time on this channel to try and build it up a little bit, obviously with the live streams, everything else. But in terms of my other channel, Canada's, yeah. With the thing with photography too is I mean, if the weather's super lousy, if I don't want to go outside, I get lousy. But that's the thing with me. Anything kind of creative, and sometimes I find with photography, you're not always in the mood, So you just take time off. But the other channel, yeah, it does okay. It kind of does its own thing. There's a lot of videos over there and a lot of different. The one thing with my other channel is it's just under my name, so I'm free to kind of do whatever I want. But it's transitioned with different things. So it's not necessarily a set. There hasn't, at the very beginning, there wasn't a set kind of theme. I did a lot of traveling. I did a lot of photography for traveling because I worked with a travel company that I would go and take pictures, right? So there was a bit of that in the beginning, but then of course that stopped, and then changing jobs and channel, everything else, it kind of morphed into photography in general and my cameras. So that's where it goes. Yeah, but it's yeah. You look at that. I look at that too, and it's like. The thing with that, put it to shame. It's got. I'm just over 15,000 subscribers now. It kind of does its own thing, when you hit a certain level, it just kind of it's like investing really, and it's like the dividends paying the dividends start paying back, right? And it just kind of does its own thing, and it grows, sometimes without necessarily even posting videos all the time. I mean, I still do regular videos on there. I actually have to do one today, but it just grows from that, just because of the sheer numbers. And then you kind of just, I think once you kind of hit the goal, I mean, the goal of the thing always on a channel, maybe just not everybody's goal, sure, just shouldn't say that, but obviously a goal if you're looking to monetize your channel. Once you hit that goal, that's kind of the main one, and then you just roll with it and try and grow. There's not really as many milestones, or you stop counting the milestones the same. You know, once you hit 1,000 subscribers, and then you try and get maybe 5,000, and then 10,000, and then you start to count. Then you start to count like in like 5,000 subscriber increments. Like it's weird how it goes up and up and up. It's like these giant channels that are have like 1 million subscribers. They don't count the 5,000s. They just count the main the main things. But you get out of it what you put in. Okay. MC, perfect. Back to finance. Away from YouTube, back to finance. I've been looking at the U.S. versus international equity cycle. International could be starting a new cycle of outperformance. 3 and 6 month comparison is very favorable towards international. Yeah, I've been noticing that as well. I think Canada is supposed to do quite well as well, if you lump that in there as well, MC. I've noticed on my Wealthsimple Robo Invest side, because obviously has things in international equities, and they've actually been doing pretty decent, which is good. If the U.S. continues to weaken against other currencies, this will be a very strong tailwind for unhedged international exposure. I think all eyes are kind of on international stuff this year. So something for people to maybe look into if there's no kind of exposure to international investments in your portfolio. It's always good, I guess. This is kind of a perfect example, right? It makes sense to diversify. My TFSA, it really does lean probably too much towards US and Canada, but I do have other investments in other places, so that's kind of worked for me, partly because I know what I'm kind of easier to understand what I'm getting, sort of that. Studies have shown that typically the cycle flips between the two, but U.S. has outperformed for longer stretches of time generally. Yeah, and the U.S. has had a really good obviously, it's back down, but we shouldn't say really good, but had a decent obviously with 2020 to 2020 to now, 2022 start off, the U.S. was doing really well, right? All those huge big tech gains, which we're seeing come down as right now. Might be an interesting idea to go overweight international equities if you believe global exposure plus value trade. It may be. Also, from my understanding, MC, is what I've been reading too, is bonds are starting to have a bit of a rebound as well, because they obviously got hammered last year, if you know. So the U.S. So on this question, MC, we'll ask if the U.S. has outperformed for approximately 12 years. Wow. So it might be time for a switch. What's a good thing to do? What is I know on the Wealthsimple Invest side, they have there's some ETFs, international equity ETFs. What are some does anybody have any ETFs that international equity ETFs that they're looking at? We'll add it to the list, and we'll keep an eye on things. That'd be kind of interesting. I should probably look into it and start to possibly put some of that into my TFSA individual account, maybe. But if anybody has any favorites, let me know, and I'll add it to the to the list if anybody's got any suggestions. Let me pull up the watch list. So there we go. So tickers for developed XENA. So XEF or VIU. Okay, let me just pull this up. XEF. go. Let's add that to that one. And what's the other one? VIU. The Vanguard developed all cap, excluding North America Index ETF. Two for, there we go. Good stuff. I don't like how Google puts everything on your watch list automatically, and then it makes it develop it. Let's move that out of the way. Move my chat. There we go. All right, we've got two more to keep an eye on. That's definitely two to watch. And did it actually save it on there? Hold on. There it is. No. Did I just delete it? I think I did. Whoops. That wasn't very smart of me. XEF. And VIU. VIU, XEF. There we go. We're in there now. Thanks, MC. Always appreciated. So there's two more to watch for everybody. Here we go. If you Google US versus international over time, there's a nice chart showing the difference in performance over time. I'll have to check that out. I'll maybe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save that. I'm going to take a look at that MC, and we'll look at that tomorrow, because we're coming up to the end here, and that gives me some research to do for tomorrow. Look at that. Thanks, everybody. So coming up at 8:45. Appreciate everybody that is tuning in. It's always good to have all the regulars here. Always a good conversation. Thanks, MC, for those two new international equities. We'll definitely keep an eye on that, something to kind of look at in the New Year's. And I'm going to look up, see if we can find that, maybe find that chart for tomorrow. If you happen to maybe find it or find something of interest in an article, MC, you can always reach out. There's email contact on the page, on the contact page of the YouTube channel. Shoot me an email, and we'll pull that up. Or if you find a chart, send me the link or the picture, and I'll use it to pull up on tomorrow's live stream. So there we go, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you all tomorrow. We'll have the live stream listed up shortly on the channel. It'd be great to have you join up, and if you can make it again, if not, always on the replay. Thanks so much, everybody. Before you head out, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out the channel. Thanks.